So, like I said, we're doing this to sort of get together, get to know each other a little bit, and then also pretty much get on the same page. So we will be talking to each other a little bit. We'll be going over SOPs, and we'll be going over some important updates to SOPs that may not be in the physical SOPs themselves yet, because that takes a little while to get routed. But you guys should know that information. We're going to take the time to clarify some things, give you guys chances to ask questions on things that you might not understand,
Dispatcher
and give you
359
guys just a
K9
little,
City.
like time to converse with command a little bit. You've got three command members here, so and then we've got a bunch of FTOs as well, so you guys will be, able to ask questions and hopefully get some answers. While we go through it, we're gonna give you time to ask questions. If it turns out to be something that like needs a pretty big back and forth, or maybe is a really really specific niche question, I might ask you to wait to the end to ask that question. Or if you need to leave or something like that, I might have a conversation with you later about it. But we're gonna try and have questions in the middle of it, so we keep it a little interactive while we talk. But pretty much I'm gonna ask like, does anybody have any questions? And then you guys are free to do questions. So while we talk, I guess hold your questions, remember them, and then whoever is talking will probably say, "Hey, do you have any questions?" And then we can go over them. So on that note, do we have any questions? Fantastic.
Um,
All right.
can we
Real quick.
be off radio, or what are we doing? We can be
Oh
off
yeah,
radio.
radio's off. If you are not on call rotation, that's fine. You are here for training and training
And is there a way
only.
to turn the dispatch off, or no? Like, so the dispatch in the
As
city?
EMS, I'm pretty sure you cannot. The only thing I know you can do is maybe change what you're looking at, if you know what I mean, in terms of
Push,
what
push.
flex your tab muscle,
Yeah,
and
tab.
it will give you less things to look at. Hello, yes.
Are we not responding to calls, or some people responding to
No.
calls?
Some people are responding to calls. They know who they are. So everybody else is not responding to calls at the moment. Everybody here is for training, because a lot of this information is important for you to know. All right. Okay. So I always like to start off with a little introduction session. So we're gonna pretty much do a little introduction. Say your name. You can say your rank, what certifications you have, and then you can throw in a fun fact, or something you just want to say to let people know, that kind of thing. That's fine. And I'll go ahead and start it off. Hello, my name is Raven LeBlanc. I am one of the lieutenants in EMS, and I will be holding you hostage here for hopefully less than 3 hours, but hey, you never know. And then we're going to start off to my right, and we'll just go round in this kind of semicircle.
I'm Samantha Mitchell. EMT. Been here 6 months. That.
Oh,
You did? Okay.
oh
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
Hold on.
your
Real quick,
certs.
my bad.
What
I
else did
forgot
you want?
something.
Certs.
Yes, certs. Real quick.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. Sorry. Yeah.
Forgot one thing. Hold on. So, just for fun, when somebody says their name, can we give them a nice alcohol anonymous hi, this person's name kind of thing?
Okay.
So
All
let's
right, I'll
start
start
again.
over.
All right.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
start up from the top. Hi, I'm Samantha Mitchell.
Hi,
Hi,
Samantha.
Samantha.
I EMT. I have flight, FTO, water. Uh,
Vet tech.
oh, vet tech.
All right.
Once you finish, I've already done one today.
And fun fact
Hi,
about you.
Cass
Oh, no fun
Winters.
fact?
Oh, we didn't fun
No
facts.
fun-
Do you wanna-
You can say a fun fact if you want, but you don't
I
have
don't
to.
have a fun fact.
Oh.
Because that's pressure.
Oh. Alright. Anyways, I'm Cass Winters.
Hi,
Cass.
Hi, Cass.
I'm a lieutenant, and I currently have flight, water, and vet tech certs.
Fun fact?
No, no fun
Okay.
facts.
No fun facts. Cass is no fun.
All right.
I'm not fun, guys.
Those are your words. They cannot be used against me. Okay.
Actually, were my
Okay.
words, but that's okay. She's my daughter.
I'm Charlie Rowe. I am an EMT, and there's absolutely nothing interesting about me.
Oh,
Hi,
Charlie.
Charlie.
You got to give us a chance to
You
say
gotta
hi.
use that small pause after you say your name.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apologize. Next time.
Yeah. All good. All right.
All right. Hi, I'm Neil Bishop.
Hi, Neil.
I'm an EMT and I have a flight cert. That's all special about me.
Okay. I'm Joe Hogan.
Hi, Joe.
Joe.
Thank you. AMT, Alpha 328, got certain flight, fire, water. I don't have vet, and that's okay. I'm kind of nodding right now, so probably after the thing, I'm going to go sleep. Sorry, Raven. I'm not going to do the thing.
That's
That's
okay. Appreciate you for coming out and helping out with the earlier academy. It's all
You're
good.
good. Yep.
I still love you.
Love you
Yeah,
too,
we
bro.
got bunks in the back. Take a nap.
I will. I'm mainly here now just for Cozy's photo that she wanted to take, and then
Yep.
I'm outie.
Alrighty.
Which brings us to
Hi, I'm Jacoba Cozy Jones.
hey.
Hi, Cozy.
Hi, Cozy.
Yeah.
I am an EMT. I have water and vet tech, and I'm a probationary FTO. And my fun fact is that I am the mother of a lot of people in EMS. So there you go.
Okay.
Do we have any children in the room?
Yes.
Yes.
Too many.
We have two children in the room.
Wait. Only
Goddamn.
two?
Okay.
Just
Okay.
two, strangely enough. Yeah. We had another child of mine earlier in the day, but he is gone.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Alrighty.
Hey there, everybody. I am A Biggie.
Hey, Abe.
I'm an EMT. Been with the team for about a year and 4 months, and despite the helmet, I just still have my temporary pilot's license from my couple LOAs ago when I was doing some flight training, and that's about it.
Alrighty. Now we talk to quiet boy in the back.
Yo,
Ryan.
Yeah. Name.
What's up?
Rank.
my name's Ryan Ryanston.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
I'm a lieutenant here. What else was included?
Certification.
Certifications and
Certs, yes. Fun fact, I don't know. I'm in this issue of the newsletter, so everybody buy one.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold up. Sorry. It's not a cert, but our one Jacoba Jones over here is the chief editor for that newsletter. So if you've had one, you've seen one before. That is all.
Oh, yeah.
Her work.
Technically the only editor, but I will take
Hell
editor
yeah.
in chief if you like.
Oh yeah, editor in chief. I mean, yeah, she handles that. All right, next up.
I'm Ram Rigoza,
Hey, Ram.
Hi, Ram.
and I have advanced care. I'm a flight FTI, water second chief. I am an FTI for fire, and I'm an FTI. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Is there a fun fact or no?
Fun fact. Nope. I don't got anything.
Second Academy is doing today.
Not even fun. He's not fun.
He's
Oh.
also not fun.
Ram is a lot of fun, actually. I can say that.
Hogan, are
Ram's
you
fun.
cooked?
Yeah.
What?
Hogan is very cooked.
He wasn't here earlier.
Hogan is extremely cooked. He's very, very cooked.
Was he not?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
No.
I was not here in AU.
I legit.
Imagine what
legit-
he wanted
Right.
into
I
existence.
legit thought I
He
just
wanted
asked
you
and
to be
said
there,
yes.
so
To be fair, I was awake, but I was
Check. You're going to check your temperature. You're running a little hot there, Joe. You need to lie now.
No.
He's
okay,
here
okay.
now.
I marked the sad
Yay.
face on dispatch.
Oh.
Wow, liar. Okay, it's fine. All right. Next up.
Hello, I'm Yuri.
Hey, Yuri.
Hi, Yori.
I'm just a normal EMT with no certs because my flight FTI has been ignoring me for the past 3 months, but it's okay. Fun fact about
How
me.
could you do?
He likes pineapple on pizza.
You want
Have you beat
wanna,
BMT for
you wanna
that
throw
one?
a name in there?
Uh,
Don't think so.
Throw
anyway,
him under
fun
the
fact.
bus.
I think I'm a good driver, the best driver in EMT. EMS.
That's
Okay, well,
better
it's a
than
good
you.
thing that you believe that. It's a good thing you believe that,
Reggie's
buddy.
on his way.
If that's
Sweet,
what you want to
alright.
believe.
Yeah.
That is
okay,
all
that
you,
makes you
buddy.
feel
Sleep
better.
at night.
Yeah, sure. Sure, man.
All right. This
Yeah.
is the perfect time for everybody to silence your cell phones.
No one ever calls me anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't have friends. I'm good.
Damn.
You say that, but we will call you out.
Only us. Only
I was
EMS
gonna say the
people.
same thing. Anyone who calls me is right here.
Yeah.
Except Oscar.
Hilarious.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Hey.
Ryan.
Which one is this?
Christ.
God
I was
damn it.
Ryan. You
No
were like
phone
2 seconds. 2 seconds earlier than I was,
No
right?
phone calls, guys. Phone calls are banned.
Yes. Yeah, no friends. All right,
No
next up.
friends.
Hi, I'm Jasmine.
Hi,
Hi,
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
You did.
You
You
tried
did
it,
run
Ryan,
into
so
an
you
EMT
tried.
anonymous meeting.
I've been here
That's
for
pretty much an EMT
special
anonymous. We're all
no
confessed.
certifications yet, but I plan to get water, and after water, maybe vet.
Woohoo!
Woo.
A fun
Vet?
fact about me: am I am a huge cat person. I love cats so much.
Hell
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay, all right. Didn't expect that from the crowd. All right, next up.
My name is Seraphine Walsh.
Hi,
Hi,
Seraphine.
Echo 18, EMT. I'm working on flight cert at the moment. Thank you to Ram and Ryan for helping me with that so far. Fun fact, I work at Burger Shop in HR there, so if anyone's looking for a
I thought
job
you,
on the side, make some
Nuke,
money,
I thought you
let me
wrote
know.
emergency medical sarcasm
hired
there
when
for
I
a
work
minute,
there?
and we're never going to recover from that. Sorry.
You tried, Yuri. You tried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good try.
You tried, buddy.
Shoot your
Good
shot.
job.
Shoot your shot. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to the back. Smith. Hey, we're doing introductions, so just give us your name. Give us pause after your name so we can all say hi. You can tell us your rank, any certifications you have or you hope to have, and fun fact about yourself if you feel like it.
All right, I'm Reggie Smith.
Hi,
Hi,
Reggie.
Hello. Echo 556. I don't
Nuke.
currently have any certifications, but I am going for
I think
water.
emergency medical sarcasm has
haven't
got
really
to be
decided
something I
on the
put
other
in
one
the
yet.
newsletter at some point.
Fun fact, I started going bald when I was 16, and here we are today.
Oh.
I've been EMS for a little over a year. And I'm honored to work with each and every one of you every day.
Oh,
yeah.
that was so
What is
nice.
the right? What is
Thank
the
you.
right side
Thank you,
lean? I
Smith.
want to lean
All
on
right.
Abe. Here.
Sorry, pause.
Can we help?
These people
Okay.
look alike.
Who do? Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
is
that
So-
barber is not really
what?
that skilled.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
it's
that
the same,
was Abe for a second until I saw Abe, and then I realized it wasn't Abe.
I just look at the beard.
Yep.
Okay, may go.
Okay.
Hi, I am Star Knight.
Hi, Star.
Hi. I am Alpha 515. I am an FTO.
I know it should be a column
I'm
name.
an FTO for water. I am fire certified. I am vet tech certified, and I am advanced care certified. I think that's all of them. I too love cats. Woo!
So you
Yeah.
Meow.
stealing her fun fact? Is that
No.
what you're doing right now?
No.
Bark.
Oh my god.
Gerbil.
Oh,
What's
hey,
the
all
lean
right.
that's to the to the right side?
Animal sound.
Anybody know?
Fantastic. Okay.
I'd have to
All
change
right,
this
last
to
but not least.
freaking something else.
Hi, my name is Paul Monroe.
'Cause I can't.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Just trainee. I've only just started like a week ago, so I've only had one shift so far.
Welcome to the
Paul, are you
team.
So
clocking?
this
Welcome
is
to the team.
so
Are you clocking?
so like two out of 2 sessions now I have to do like SOPs.
Yeah, go clock in and make some money.
Clock in.
That's a shame.
Yeah, clock
You
and get
if
paid.
you're training.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're
go
not
get some
clocking,
money.
clock and get paid.
I was looking at dispatch. I was like, he's not on there.
And if you're not
Yeah.
answering calls, please sign off with dispatch.
Central dispatch.
Yes.
No.
And then 10-7. How could
Yeah,
you?
personally, I wouldn't take that respect.
Virgoza,
Disrespect.
get up here.
Also, there's food in the break room.
Free food? Ooh.
Free food.
Me too. Me too.
How dare you? How dare you say that to me in front of all these people?
What'd you say? What'd you
I would
say?
just-
I missed it.
I would just fire him.
He declined.
The audacity.
She gave an offer and then he was like, no.
JK, no, I'm actually joking. I'm joking. It's actually, I actually don't care. I don't care.
I'm just messing.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
That
Okay.
until the academy is over, then it's like you piece of shit.
I literally don't care. Okay, so, let's do a couple of announcements before we get going. Like was mentioned earlier, we do have a new issue of Dispatches, the EMS newsletter. If you don't have one yet, please do pick one up. Any employee of Doctor's Order should be able to sell you one. So if you're an employee of Doctor's Orders, do your job. Also, Jones is available as well.
Yes.
To give you one. Next announcement. What?
I said please buy one from doctor's orders so that they get the money.
Yeah. Next announcement, we will be looking to, I know this is NA, but we'll be looking to hire more people
Nuke
in
is the
AU
best. I
shift.
should get.
So
I
if
should
you are
hire
around
Nuke
doing
to
that
do
shift,
the
please post
column.
on Twitter or in the yellow pages, alerting people that you are, we are hiring. Take ride-alongs, please, if you can, and record it in the ride-along sheet so we can use that when we are, when we are evaluating. And soon, not TM, no copium, we should be having an AU hiring fair as well. So if you're interested in participating in that, feel free to reach out to any member of command that you, I guess, want to reach out to. Would appreciate the help. All right. Then real quick, we have something new for all of you. So I guess in a lovely chaotic fashion, everybody grab
One
one
at
of
a
these.
time. One at a time.
One at a time. No
Everybody
grabbing.
in at the same time. Mosh pit. Let's go.
At the same time?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just grab one. Just take one.
So can I get a second one so I can just
No,
sell
no, you
one
may
on
not
the
get the
black
second.
market?
No.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, Monroe. Like, you can look at it so you know what it is.
You made it.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that is a violation right there.
You can't use
the
that.
last we ever saw of him.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wait, what happened?
Not even a sorry?
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh my
my
god.
He's hurt, man. Help him.
All right, I
Oh,
circled.
oh,
Oh no!
God damn.
Sounds about right.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You sure you're good? You sure good? You sure you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, is everybody?
He hits like a dog
Everybody ice pack?
Yeah.
or kitty.
Everybody got one?
Mm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We're
Everybody
all
got one?
ice packed up. We're
Right,
good. We're
perfect.
good.
I'm good.
When
Thank
now
you.
the beating can
Alright.
commence.
Yeah, so that is a new EMT certificate. There is also one for paramedics. So when you get to paramedic, you may get another certificate. It's just a little, thing to say. We appreciate you guys. We wanted to give you guys some sort of recognition. I know PD has badges, and this isn't a badge, but it is a little something that you can kind of, hold, put in your collectible pouch, etc., etc.
Nuke, you're the best.
So just a little, I guess. We appreciate
Honestly,
you guys.
Nuke.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
You literally
problem,
should be a
no problem.
ghost writer. You're gonna be a ghost
Alright,
writer
let's see.
and
Is that the last
ghostwrite
note?
this column for me. Although I can be plenty sarcastic. I really can.
gone. Okay. All right. So let's get on
Where's
with it.
Doug? He needs to be in the picture.
So like I said, we'll be doing some just major highlights here. So we'll start off with the first section of the SOPs, and that is the general section.
He might be in
So a
soon,
few
actually.
couple of important things to note here is if you're, I mean, most of you already know this, but I guess if you've never known this before, there are 3 places to sign on for duty. There is the fire main at the clipboard up front. There is Sandy Shores Medical. There is a clipboard behind the desk that is hard to find. Apparently, Nancy has kept it hidden, but it's there, so I've heard. And then there is a sign-in at Memorial Hospital. Now, while you're on duty, there's a couple of important things and some clarifications that we want to make. Firstly, we no longer have a cap on the amount of people that can be on duty at the same time. If you were here in the past, the cap used to be 8, but now there is no cap on the amount of people that can be on duty at the same time. So if EMS is up good, EMS is allowed to be up good, and that's chill.
Wow, no cap on a stack?
No cap on the stack if you want to outrun PD.
Best thing Command's ever done.
Yay.
Hell yes.
Yay.
I mean, there's still a cap on the work ticket.
Yes, that's the next thing I was going to say. There is a cap on the work ticket, and that is, I'm pretty sure it's 8 people. So, in that vein, if you are on the work ticket and somebody else wants to come on duty on their work ticket, we pretty much have a 3-hour rotation. So, if you want to come on duty and people are using the work ticket, feel free to send a ping or a message to the highest rank on duty, just asking them to politely see if somebody can who's on the work ticket can step off for you to come on duty. But if you're all on your ticket, feel free to stack as high as I guess EMS can go, pretty much. Next thing, few things about what you can do on duty. 1, no crime, i.e., no crime. On or off duty, to be perfectly honest. That's not a okay. What is going on in the back there? Okay, all right. So no crime while you are on or off duty, pretty much. EMS, if you get caught doing a crime, or even not get caught doing a crime, like if the police don't arrest you or whatever, and we still figure out that you had a crime, your employment will be called into question. You are not to be committing crimes, misdemeanors, felonies, etc., etc. Felonies is pretty much straight fire. Not straight fire as in good, straight fire as in straight termination. Sorry. So please do not be committing crimes while EMS is just not something that's allowed. The next thing is corruption. So I want to give some good definition of what corruption in EMS means, because I know sometimes it's said and it doesn't really come with a proper definition. So corruption is pretty much the use of advantages or things that you have gained as EMS to further pretty much, I guess, crime, or basically the abuse of those advantages you've been given. An example of this is giving out government equipment that you can buy at the armory. So anything in the armory that you can buy, we're not to give out. No flashlights to be given out, no government radios to be given out. And in fact, EMS are not allowed to touch the cough syrup or any of those blood bags or any of that kind of stuff in the armory. That stuff is just no go, don't touch it. But you can grab a flashlight. Obviously, you can grab a PD radio, government radio, but you are not to give that to anybody else. You cannot give the helicopter kit out to people as well. None of that stuff should be given to anybody else that is not EMS. So if you do give that out, that is corruption. And corruption comes with a hefty fire, termination, and you may also catch a one-way ticket to the Bahamas. So please be aware not to do that. Another thing that falls under corruption is giving out information about EMS numbers, locations, PD numbers, and locations as well. So if you've been on duty, you will notice that we all have blips. Those blips are really for our use. If somebody calls you to a scene, etc., you can tell where we are, who's where, and all that stuff. That information is pretty much for use only on your job. If somebody asks you, hey, is this person on duty? You tell them, maybe give them a call and see. You're not supposed to be giving that information about, how many people are on duty. If somebody says, oh, yeah, how many cops are on? You cannot give them that information. Or where is this cop? You cannot give them that information. That all is information you cannot give out. That is also one-way ticket to Bahamas. That is corruption, etc. Now, if somebody were to ask you for that information, you are to tell them, I cannot give you that information. That is a problem. You can say it with the gods, with the angels, federal government, however you choose to say it, and they should understand what you mean. If they do not understand, try and emphasize it. If they continue to push the issue, send up a prayer. And then another part of corruption that is important to note as well is this is not corruption, but this is something along those lines. Your blips that come with you, they are, we refer to them as trackers, EMS trackers. Those cannot be removed as long as you are on duty. So if in the unfortunate circumstance you get kidnapped, somebody cannot, take those out, like away from you. They can't cut it out or whatever, remove it, that kind of stuff. The only way to get that blip to turn off is for them to make you sign off duty. If they do not force you to sign off duty, that blip stays on. So, any questions on that stuff real quick? Because I know that is a little of a confusing part.
Can we fight back?
In some cases, yes. We'll get to the self-defense section of this, but yes, in some cases, you definitely can fight back. And we'll explain in detail exactly what that is in a second. Any other questions? Okay, that is a perfect segue because we'll talk about weapons you're allowed to have on duty. EMS are not allowed to have any firearms on duty. However, you are allowed to have a bunch of any melee weapons that is within your certification. So all medics, not even just EMTs, all medics are allowed to have a flashlight, and you may use that flashlight in self-defense. We'll talk about that a little bit more. If you're fire certified, I believe you have a hatchet. Some other certifications give you other melee weapons that you're allowed to use. So those you're allowed to all keep on your person, that's all fine, but no firearms. The only firearm that you're allowed to have on your person is a hunting rifle for the purpose of dealing with murder kitties if you go to a call in that area. That hunting rifle is located in Lifelight 1, and if you are not fly certified, the only reason you can touch Lifelight 1 is to get that hunting rifle to go to a call. If you fire the hunting rifle, you are required to 3-on-1 to let PD know that you have fired shots and specifically the reason you fired those shots. Regoza.
Oh.
The rifle's currently broken. Can command replace it, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Wait, do we have to notify PD when we shoot?
No, it's filled with sleeping darts.
Yes.
You just got to make sure you mark the murder kitty afterwards. You shoot it with a sleeping dart.
Oh, about murder kitties, sorry to interrupt. If they are friendly to you, don't adopt them. Don't do the same mistake I did because I adopted one and I almost got fired.
Yep, don't do that.
And arrested by PD.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's see. The other next thing up is reporting a crime. EMS, our mission here is really to help save lives, help treat people. We treat people indiscriminatory, and that comes with the territory in terms of reporting. In terms of reporting crime, we are not obligated to report crime.
I hate being on the
that's
frickin'
not just EMS. That's pretty much everybody in Los Santos. And the only time you are obligated to report a crime is if a government employee is in danger. So you witness a government employee, PD, EMS, judge, clerk, being attacked, kidnapped, etc. That is when you are required to report that crime. You are to get on, your radio, get to a safe place, call for 78s, or emergency backup from PD. And that is the only time you're required to do that. Every other time you are free to not report. However, do not get into the territory of obstructing justice. So if you witness a crime and then somebody, says, all right, like, can I have your car to flee from this crime? If the person holds the gun up to you and steals your car to flee from the crime, you are not required to report that, but you probably want to because PD will, will have to strike your car or say it was used in a crime. They have discretion on that. So if you report that your car was stolen, it's likely that at least you wouldn't have massive, consequences for that. But you're not required to report that. You probably want to, but that is your choice. It's not something you're required to do.
I believe that's called CYA, cover your ass.
Yeah, I guess so.
What a dumbass criminal stealing an ambulance to commit crime? That's so stupid.
Well, I mean, they could steal the Explorer or your actual car, not just the ambulance.
Too bad
All
I
right.
don't have a car.
So that's fair. And then the last thing, as EMS, when you get hired, you pretty much accept the legal obligation to treat people and care for people. So while you're not obligated to report crime, you are obligated to basically treat people. When somebody is injured, we have an obligation to give them care as much as we can. I know sometimes we are overwhelmed with calls and we cannot get to someone. And also, this comes into play when people decide to, for lack of a better term, skip medical. If somebody decides that they no longer want to be treated, you cannot force that treatment on them. You can advise them that, this and that could happen, etc., etc. But if they decide not to, that's, out of your hands. But otherwise, an injured person, you have the obligation to treat them. Any questions on that entire section?
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Nope, be good.
Are
Oh,
we legally allowed to follow do not resuscitate form in this county? I saw on Yellow Pages some people have been putting do not resuscitate on their Yellow Pages.
That would be a thing for like doctors to handle.
Yeah, that goes to the doctors.
That's not for EMS to handle. That's for doctors.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Duck and I are doing this weird thing. We have a
Alrighty.
new. We have a new person. We have a new person.
Yes. We have a new person who just walked in.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Hargrove.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself to the crew. When you say your name, please pause so you can all say hi, and then you can give us your rank, any certifications you have or hope to have, and one fun fact about yourself.
Hi, my name is Doug Hargrove.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Hello, everybody. I am an EMT with the EMS, and currently I only have flight certification, but I'm hoping I will get fire certified soon.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't applied for that yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe,
What did
you
call me?
gotta. I've got pictures of Joe. I might just stick one on. I might, or stick him in the back.
Okay. Alrighty. So
Okay.
we'll call up our. Yeah, I hope he's okay. We'll call up our one of our LTs here to take on the next section, Mr. Ryanston. So you can all stop listening to my voice for a second.
Wait, Ryan is here. I didn't even see him.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep and go go to sleep.
I mean, yeah, but if you
Oh,
want
I
to
think
go
I
over
would.
them
I would add you
if we
because
need
it was
we
funny,
can,
not
but
because
yeah, I
you
pretty much
think
did
you
the,
need to be there.
highlights. What we need clarification on.
Deal. All right, I'll just do the highlights then. Professionalism. Do it. All right. All right. So, radio. Obviously, we're EMS. We want everybody to like us.
Yes, really bad
so
Photoshop.
Be professional when you
Like
are
with
on
tape
duty.
on the corners or something.
Don't fuck around with people you shouldn't be. Say dumb shit you shouldn't, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's what I
It
had
goes
in
for
mind.
everybody in the
Actually,
city.
go to sleep.
I'm reading. Hang on. I came prepared. Don't worry.
Man has a script.
I do. Can you tell?
That's my LT.
Hey. So yeah, don't talk bad about anybody. If you have a problem with somebody, go through the chain of command, take it to the proper authorities and whatnot. That goes for civilians, PD and EMS. Treat everybody with respect. Don't badmouth people.
Yeah,
If
no
you have a problem
kidding.
with somebody, don't spread rumors and all that. Come talk to somebody in command, somebody that's a higher rank,
Neela's
so
so
they can
sus
bring it
these
to
days.
whoever they need to.
Love you, Jack, if you're
You
watching.
can always try just telling them to their face in a respectful way. Don't fuck with gangs. They have guns. We don't. Well, off duty, you know, you do you. But on duty, we want people to use EMS. And if we make the city mad, they're not going to use our service. And then what are we here for? Just to make a measly wage? If you have a problem with PD, again, work it up the chain of command. We'll get it worked out. We'll get the stories. We'll put in the complaints to the appropriate people. We'll talk to the appropriate people. And we'll get it all sorted. Go ahead. What's your question, Yori?
You said you do you off duty. Can we actually do everything off duty or anything? Or
You
are
can
we
do anything
restricted
you want, but just be prepared for the consequences.
to? Oh.
I.e., you get arrested, you get fired. Well, okay, maybe it's not that black and white, but obviously, pending
What
your
if I don't get
record, you
caught?
know, you might get fired. So if you're ready for that as the consequences, then go for it.
If I get caught.
Well,
You revert to the
True.
first section that we went over. No crime.
no crime, no face, no case. I mean, no crime, period.
Oh my god.
Slay.
Be prepared for the consequences,
Okay.
whatever they may be.
You got it, LT.
Oh, I have
Exactly.
questions. I have questions.
Do your job,
for
don't badmouth people,
Jackson
and you'll be fine.
about how he can put his hand down without
I'm done.
doing the
Thank you, Ryan.
sit.
You're welcome.
He does
Woohoo.
he has some scripting, and I don't know what it
Okay.
is, and I
All
want
That's
right.
part of this.
One thing I forgot to say: feel free to take a wiggle break in between. Feel free to wiggle as we kind of do it. We don't necessarily have to do it all together, but you know, walk around if you need to, stretch your legs, shake your legs, etc. No problem.
Ow.
Did you see that?
Sam just fucking.
No.
Can we sit inside?
You were
just-
stuck inside the
What?
I just fell
Can we sit
over.
inside?
thing, and you spun
no.
like 5 million.
Nope.
Why?
I just fell over in the chair.
Yeah, I
In
saw
our
something
eyes, you
else.
kind of just like went
Need to
sicko
hit the water
mode.
cooler real quick.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one who saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw that shit too.
Yo, you saw it, Jasmine? Okay, I'm glad
Yeah.
Jasmine saw it. You literally went cray cray, like
Oh my.
you're breakdancing or something. I don't know what was
Got the wiggles out.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Oh, Aiden.
Can I have a nice
Is
back,
at the
by the way?
hospital. Another child of
Of
COVID.
course.
It's a family
Who's this?
reunion.
You want
Yep.
to know?
No one.
All right, who's this?
No one.
But
Oh, I know who this is.
We did
Do you-
intros already, Ram. You should
We
know
did
who that
already.
is.
To the
Hey, Yori.
We did an
nails
alcoholic
What?
anonymous intro.
I'm playing a tuner.
His voice is
Oh.
very unique.
Highest diet tacos
Oh,
daughter.
thank you.
No problem.
It was fun actually.
It doesn't look like you in the helmet though.
Yeah, because I'm not wearing the beanie.
I know you look. Are you bald naturally? Okay, to be fair, I've never seen Neil without a
Oh
beard.
my god.
That's a first.
all right, let's get it together. Let's get it
You
together.
look good though.
What is she?
I like it.
Okay, alrighty. Let's head on to the next section. We're going to talk about active situations. Now, most of this stuff you get, you know, you already have been taught as EMTs and stuff like that. Trainees will also be taught more in depth about this. But like I said, we're kind of doing some highlights of important things. Some things, obviously, I'm going to reiterate, but you know, bear with me here for a second. So, we are not to enter active situations, as almost everybody knows. However, you may be called after the situation is, you know, called code 4 or all clear to come in. Now, if you're called to a situation that then it's code 4 at the time you go in, you're treating people, and then, you know, it kicks back up again, your reaction is, if possible, to leave, drop everything and leave. If you have patients in the back of your ambulance, you can, take your ambulance and then get to safe cover. You're not supposed to, I guess, sprint down to the other side of the city or anything like that, but pretty much get out of harm's way. The other thing is, if you are going to a call in an area that is known to have gang wars or just a ton of activity at one point, then you are to call for PD backup, call for 77s to help go to that scene and clear it up.
You're falling
A
through the floor.
question that, oh my god. Oh. Okay.
It's okay. I'm built different.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. So pretty much, if you go to an active situation, PD calls you into an active situation, not into, but they call you to come stage for an active situation. You are required to stage a minimum of 2 blocks away. But to be perfectly honest, it's a safe distance.
You can
you're not
use it
like
to confirm
required
that
to
you
always stage 2
attended.
blocks away. Sometimes 2 blocks away is not enough because 2 blocks is subjective and streets are long or short. You just need to stage a safe distance away where you are out of sight and cannot get involved, in the in pretty much the active situation. One reason for this, and I hope this doesn't happen, but one reason for this is somebody might get a smart idea to kidnap EMS and try to use them as a negotiation chip. So, if you're called to stage for something, please stay a safe distance away. If you are going to a 911 call or something of that sort, that is not, you're not called in by PD, and there to be, shootouts or gang wars or whatever going on in that area, call PD to clear it for you first. Another thing that will add to this is, if you are going to a 911 call that you suspect might be dangerous, maybe you have gotten a call from that person in the past and it didn't go well, or you've seen something on Twitter that they say something like, "I will kill all EMS," and then they call 911, call for 77s for PD to come help clear that. We understand that we don't want people to think we are PD, but we work with them and they are really here to protect citizens and stuff like that. So please utilize PD in active situations. Any questions? Fantastic.
Yo, who's firefighter, sir?
There's people with, I guess, fire stuff on right now.
Can you guys help me? I'm stuck.
I tried to help him. He can't be helped.
You can, because the void grabbed him already.
The void's
That's
he's
happening
already in the
heli.
yeah. Oh no.
That's the same thing that happened in the heli.
Is that professional
Yoink.
Hold on.
I tried to grab him. I couldn't.
Okay.
Let me try something.
You might have to. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you might have to nap and come back.
Yeah, you might have to nap actually.
Yeah, you might have to nap.
Because I was like,
Bro.
if we
I
throw
tried.
something at him,
I tried
maybe
to.
it'll work.
Let me throw shoot him.
Oh, wait.
Oh, get him.
Does anyone
Yeah,
have?
I have a shoe. I have a shoe in my locker.
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
Come on, cozy, go.
Oh, okay. Hi.
I have a shoe. Is anybody
awesome.
really good at throwing?
No.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm sure you got this.
There, no. Somebody else throw.
That's how fire swords work.
I only have one.
It's not fire swords work.
If that doesn't work,
Got this.
I definitely think you need to take a nap, buddy.
Yeah.
I say we park the fire truck in and
Oh,
spray him.
oh,
It worked.
No.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, fuck.
All right.
I was
No,
about to get
no.
the fire truck and spray his ass.
I had him out.
All right. Yeah, he
That
was
one
out.
was unfortunate.
Yeah,
He was out when he
unfortunate.
took the pill.
We tried.
Okay. Okay.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Okay,
he is.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, is he down?
Help him up.
It's just a shoe.
You're free.
Oh.
You mean like this?
Shoes should now be official fire set equipment because
All right.
that works well.
I don't think that. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks,
So real
Pfizer.
quick, come back. Bring it back. Real quick on actives. If the active happens to be at the hospital, the highest rank on duty will then determine the next place to go. Very likely that place will end up being Sandy Shores Medical. But you know, if there's for some reason another place that it would be, the highest ranking on duty will determine that for you guys. Sorry, I forgot that part. Okay. So let's talk about EMS primary scenes and let's talk about some triage stuff. Now, most of the time when we go to a scene or what we call an MCI, a mass casualty incident, PD generally calls us in. They request 52s. They say EMS is needed at a spot, and they call us in, and then we go in there. Once you get on that scene, the treatment of the patients is EMS's territory. Now, the calling in and the picking up of evidence and the picking of the triage spot, etc., that falls on PD. But once you get on scene, the treatment of those patients are in your hands. It is your jurisdiction, and you call the shots on that. So, as most of you already know, we treat people based on injuries, not based on profession. So we don't really care if they're criminals or civilians or PD or whatever they might be. We treat people based on injuries. The critical people get treated first, and then you may follow call priority afterwards if you choose to, or treat everybody else. If PD tries to say treat PD officers first, that is not a go. You have to treat critical people first, and then everybody else. If an officer, tells you that and is insistent on that, run it up your chain of command. Let the highest rank on duty know, or if there's none there or whatever, then run it up to command, and we will handle it. We will take it through the appropriate channels. That is pretty much your call. So yeah, if PD tries to do that, tell him off. It's not your role. It's not their role. Sorry, that is your role. You are the one in charge of saying what patients do, and that also comes in terms of leaving that scene as well. If there's a critical patient that is dying, you have the ability to tell PD, hi, I need to take this patient to the hospital, whether that be in one of their, PD vehicles because you need to keep treating people, or for one of the medics on scene to leave, take them to the hospital, and then come back to help the rest of the people. That is something you can also do. You need to alert them either on radio or in person. 3-on-1s is not a good idea for that because things get chaotic. They might not read that. They might take too long. But that is all stuff that you are in charge of. Any questions on that? All right, sweet. Now, quickly, I'm going to go through the triage colors, just so we're all on the same page on this. We have 5 triage colors. There is stoplight version, green, yellow, red, and then we've got white and black. Now, green, actually, I'm going to go in the reverse order because green might be one of the more confusing ones. So we start off with black. Black means that the person is pretty much dead on arrival or deceased. If you get literally nothing, and you can even pretty much get almost a confirmation that this person is dead. Now, you cannot declare that this person is dead. That is for doctors to do. But if you hit them with one of these, you get confirmation. Then you can mark them as the black tag and treat other people.
Unlucky.
Yes. Once again, EMS medics cannot declare people dead. That is for the doctors to do. However, if you have a person with a black tag or a DOA, call that into the doctors on the way back from the hospital, let them know, get on channel 9, say, hi, I've got a DOA. Where would you like me to bring them, hospital or the morgue? Probably they'll say hospital because, they're going to do their work to see if the person's actually dead. All right. The white tag is pretty much for, the technical medical term is boo-boos. So somebody, didn't eat their food, or they actually tripped and for some reason cannot get back up. those are white tags. Those are like, you don't, no hospital care is required, no doctors is required, just first aid is good, you're good to go, that kind of stuff. Now, red, as you can imagine, is critical, bad. So this person needs immediate care, prompt care. These are the people that you treat first on scene, and you know, they need to be stabilized. Then we have yellow. They are injured, absolutely, but you know, they don't need immediate like treatment. They need treatment, absolutely, but criticals come first. Criticals are more likely to die because they pretty much need immediate life-saving measures. People who are tagged yellow, who are temporarily stable, well, or can be temporarily stable, my bad, need hospital care, they need treatment, but they're not, you know, like you can treat criticals first for that. A good example of this is people who, you know, have what you call it, like people who have been shot, not through the vest, but they've been shot, and you know, they're not bleeding entirely. The shots haven't hit anything. It's through and through. Maybe it's a shot that grazed the shoulder, etc., etc., that kind of stuff. Now, green, in the SOPs, it's tagged as pretty much stable and walking, but there's some situations where the person might not be walking where they should be walking, if you think about it. So an example of this would be pretty much like, if you know when yeah, what? No, what? No. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
The fire at
Not
the
getting
beach.
burnt. No, 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 no. Somebody gets burnt, that's a yellow or potentially a red. An example of this is people getting taking bullet shots to the vest. If that person is completely fine and you give them, you know, you give them the ice pack for the bruising and swelling, you check their breathing is all good, yada yada yada. They technically need a ride to the hospital because they can't get up, but you know, you've done, it's a minor issue. You haven't done like any sort of massive kind of treatment or anything of that sort to save their lives. You know, that's kind of a green. And then there's other more easy to, you know, identify green sort of situations as well. But I wanted to clarify that specific one. And we use those on scenes when we have a lot of people, the tags, because you can help other people identify when someone's been treated or what severity somebody is. Okay. Before we move on from this, I want to make something clear on this point. The way basic triage works in general is that the highest ranking AEMT or above on duty is generally in charge of a scene. In fact, at the moment, the highest ranking on duty is in charge of the shift as a whole. So we call that a shift lead. That person is in charge of responding to radio communication or 301 communication or 911 communication from PD. They are in charge of basically distributing EMS resources at that point. We rank lock this to AEMTs because AEMTs get trained on scene control, and that's where they learn all these skills and abilities. So before you go to a call, or if you get a call on radio, the highest ranking person on duty is to respond to that call, unless they are already on a call. Then the next highest rank on duty takes over. If everybody is an EMT or below on duty, then you are to work together to be able to respond to those calls, whether that be by setting up your own call rotation together, you know, saying, all right, I'm going to go to the next call, and then, you know, Metro's going to go to the next one, then Ragosa, etc. Or you could even set up a call rotation with 911s. You can 911 EMS call rotation and then attach everybody to those calls so you can see who goes to what next. Then when you get on scene, the AEMT is in charge of basically doing the triage. They will set down the triage colors if needed. They will identify who are the critical patients, and then they will distribute EMS and PD resources as necessary. Now, the only time that the highest ranking AEMT or above is not primary on scene is if an EMT gets there first. Whoever gets to a scene first is automatically primary of that scene because they have the most information about what is going on. Now, if you are primary by virtue of being there first and you feel overwhelmed, underprepared, whatever it might be, absolutely feel free to ask for help from any of the higher ranking members on duty. They are not going to just take primary away from you, but if you ask, they can absolutely take over because they are trained for that. Any questions? All right. once. Going twice. Perfect. Alrighty, now we can have LT Winters come up here and give us a little talk about ride-alongs and volunteer EMS.
It's summer.
better.
Whoa. That's uncalled for.
That's messed up.
Hello.
How could you? Anyway, so, ride-alongs. As you all know, anyone who is a EMT and above is able to take a ride-along. You are not, you don't have to take them. You are able to decline anyone if you don't want to take them, but you're able to. There are set rules for these ride-alongs. So, ride-alongs are not to have any violent offences, felonies. Some of the rules, like they should wear a blue vest. I'm sure many of you have been ride-alongs or have taken ride-alongs, so pretty familiar with these things. Ride-alongs should always act professionally and not hinder or affect any treatment or anything like that. They shouldn't have weapons on them on 52 requests and 13 calls. So basically any scenes with PD, they should stay inside the ambulance to avoid interference. And on ordinary scenes, they are able to exit as long as they have your permission. When you take a ride along, we'd like you to 311, just like your call sign transitioning to with the ride along, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes. So I think that's everything on ride alongs. Anyone? Any questions? Ride alongs? Everyone understand all that? Yes.
Oh, sorry. How do we know if they have any violent charges?
You are able to 311 and ask PD to check for you, or you can just go kind of down to the courthouse and just have a look yourself.
Okay.
Anything else? Did you have a question, Yuri?
What information do we give them? Do we just give them the basic volunteer information? Or
You just
No,
tell them
don't-
don't get out of the
no,
ambulance.
no.
Yeah.
oh, if they have
Unless
ask
advised
questions?
Just talk to them.
If they ask questions, I mean, if they ask questions, you can answer the questions. Obviously, depending on what they are. Like some information they can't know, such as like the general information that we can't give out, like in regards to numbers and stuff like that. But anything else, if they have just general questions, you are able to answer them. That makes sense?
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Did you mention about changing their call sign in dispatch as well?
Yes, I said.
I thought you said 311,
311.
but not
Yeah, you said 311,
dispatch.
but you didn't say change
Well,
your call
do
sign
do
with
do
the R.
both, you know. Dude, everyone knows to do that, you know.
No, that's why we're here. So,
Well, that's what
because
this-
in case everybody doesn't know, we tell them.
Okay, guys, I forgot one thing.
shit.
Okay, so volunteers. At the moment, the only volunteers that we permit are government employees, so just PD at the moment. We're currently kind of having a look over SOPs and information in regards to volunteers, and trying to rework it a bit as it's quite outdated at the moment. So hopefully soon we'll have that out for everyone, so they can see the rules regarding it. But if you're on duty and someone comes to volunteer, it's kind of your responsibility to kind of see that they're following the requirements and they are able to be there. And you are able to request them to sign off if they do anything they shouldn't. Everyone okay with all that? Yes, yes, good, good. Nice.
Yep.
Alright, I don't know, who's doing the next part?
I'll get it.
Got it. Great.
Thank you, Winters. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let's talk about requirements and the chain of command. Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So, a couple of things about, well, not a couple of things about activity or inactivity. So, some of you might not know this, but I'll make it very clear. Every medic is recommended to do at least 10 hours a month on duty. Now, if you are a paramedic, we have a higher expectation of you. And right now, that expectation is that you are required to do 10 hours on duty. If that expectation changes, we will absolutely let you know. But all medics, except for paramedics, are recommended to do 10 hours, and paramedics required. Now, the next part comes up in terms of inactivity. So, if you know that you are going to be missing in action for a period of over 2 weeks, 14 days, etc., you are required to request an LOA from a member of command. That means you are to text message, email if they've said that is okay, physically talk to, phone call a specific member of command to request that LOA so it can be marked properly. You are not to announce in the general channel that I am going on LOA. That is not how you request an LOA. You need to specifically contact a member of command to do so. Now, we really don't have strictness on LOAs. If you request an LOA, like I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get one. But if it is below 2 weeks, you don't need to request an LOA. Take your time, take your break, touch grass, drink milk. That's fine. If it is more than 2 weeks, that is when you're required to do it. Now, if you request an LOA that is going to be more than 60 days, your call sign might be released for somebody else to pick up, and you might be inactive. Now, how that works is this. If you go on LOA for more than 60 days without contacting command to, update them, update them on what's going on with your LOA, as of day 61, you are inactive and you might be released. Now, if you keep in contact with command, let us know what's going on, you are allowed to have a maximum of 90 days of LOA. That's 3 months, give or take, whatever February is doing with itself. So once you are above the 3-month mark, we believe that it would be best for you and us to part ways and for you to come back at a time where you have more time to dedicate to the department. Now, this is not going to, negatively impact your ability to return. If you find time in the future and you decide you want to join us again, we will happily welcome you back with open arms, provided you still meet the requirements to be EMS, et cetera, so forth. Then, if you are not on LOA and you do not come on shift for over a period of 30 days, you will be marked inactive. Take your marking as inactive as notification that you should be reaching out to a member of command to either A, say, hi, things have come up, life is hard, I've changed my mind, I want to go on a different path, whatever it may be, and I would like to part ways with EMS, or pretty much same again, life is hard, things have come up, but I would like to remain and I would like to come back. If you choose you would like to come back, the next 30 days, after your initial 30 days of inactivity, you would be required to do 12 hours of duty. If you do not meet that 12-hour requirement, you will be released. Or, well, I guess maybe released, depending on the command decision. Upon release or resignation from EMS, now, and we can talk about this a little bit later, but now you are required to return your ambulance to the a member of command. In the past, if you've been here before, you were able to keep your ambulance and not use it. You bought it, you can keep it. That was fine in the past. Now you are no longer allowed to keep that ambulance. Now you are required to return it. So, in that vein, we are now asking everybody who owns a personal ambulance to go have the license plate recorded in your MDW profile. You should be recording the license plate of your ambulance and also the serial number of any government equipment that you have in your MDW profile. So in case it gets stolen, it can be tracked back to you or given back to you. So things like flashlights, for example, they have serial numbers. If you've noticed, you should be recording those in your MDW profile and now record the license plate of your ambulance. Regoza.
If we leave EMS, are we still allowed to keep our flashlights?
No, that is government issued equipment. So, I mean, I cannot come search you for your flashlight, but if it's a crime to possess it if you're not a government employee. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on that? Monthly requirements or requirements just in general of activity? Yes.
No, just to put the registration of the equipment because it does fail. So eventually, it's not very often, but we have to just keep updating that.
The serial number is usually your ID, state ID number. So.
Well, there's other numbers attached to it. But
yeah, I mean the other numbers.
Yep, long number.
The cartridge numbers and so on.
Oh,
yep.
okay. Yeah,
so we just have to do that.
Number and then letters. And
yeah, every time we need to do it. Okay, just clarifying it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Any questions? Once again on inactivity, how to request an LOA, etc., all that. Okay. Specifically on the inactivity stuff, I want to make it clear that we're pretty understanding of life things. So make sure you're communicating with command on this stuff. In fact, actually, I'll just here, my phone number. If you need to communicate with something, any command member, whatever, you could text me. I respond to text messages. I do not have a Los Santos email, because that stuff is looked up by the CIA and Life Invader, and I don't trust them. But you can text me. That's fine. And my emails, my Discordia emails are open as well. I would say text me first. I check my text messages regularly. Try to keep communications in the city as much as possible, but sometimes things require external communication, and I am fine with that. I would ask that you probably check with every command member about that before you go ahead and send them a Discordia email. But otherwise, I am good. All right. So continue with communication with command. So we have a couple of forms that we have accessible to you. If you do not feel happy to, communicate with command, like I said, if you don't want to text any of us or whatever, or talk to any of us, we do have a couple of forms that you can fill out anonymously. We have a feedback form and we have a complaint form. Both of these forms are accessible from the public EMS master document, which is available to you in the important information channel in the email chain. You may fill this out. I read them very frequently. Some of you in this room have had me pull you aside based on something that came up in those comments. So we do look at them. If you have a suggestion for something, we do look at them. In fact, hold on. Quickly going to check if anybody has sent feedback that this is too long. Hold on, real quick. Nope, we're good. So they can be anonymous, and you can put your name down if you wish to have us follow up with all that stuff. I do ask that you try to follow your chain of command. If something happens while you are on duty, try and get the people who are on duty, the higher ranks on duty, to take care of it. If they cannot take care of it, they will escalate it up to command as necessary, and they know how to do that. But if all else fails and none of that works, fill out a complaint. We definitely look at them and we definitely handle them.
Just do that to the message to him.
Wow, that's crazy that you would say that. Okay. So speaking of the chain of command, we're just going to talk about exactly what that kind of means very quickly. So we have a few ranks. The starting rank, of course, is trainees. At this point, I'm going to talk a little bit about trainee requirements as well. So trainees, as most of you know, you will be required to get 4 sign-offs to become a solo trainee, and at that point, you are allowed to basically ride by yourself without an FTO or EMT plus watching over you. After those 4 sign-offs are done, you are then required to contact an FTI, which is pretty much command at this point, to do a final evaluation to then promote you to EMT. Now, during your trainee phase, there's a few things you're required to do. 1, you are pretty much required to do at least 1 shift every week to show that you're making reasonable progress towards completing your training phase. We expect the training phase to take about a month, to be perfectly honest, but we understand that things might happen. However, if you feel like you are going to be taking a 30, 45, 60, 90-day LOA during your training phase, we might say, come back another time. We really do not feel like you should be going on LOAs during the training phase, because it's just dedication to very much completing your training phase. Now, we also would require that you do 1 of those shifts with an AEMT or above. The reason being that they've most likely been here for longer. They have more training in terms of sync control, things of that sort, and might be able to correct or give you more in-depth explanations as to why specific things are. Sometimes EMTs may not be privy to some things, or they may not understand fully. We trust our FTOs, absolutely, but on occasion, experience is a better teacher. So that's why we have that requirement. All right. And then after you finish your training phase, you can then hop up to EMT. At the EMT stage, you may now apply for 2 certifications. Now I want to, let's see if I'm going to jump around on this a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, we're good. I want to make a distinction about certification. So we have 2 sort of certification channels right now. I'm going to call them pretty much department certifications and then career certifications. These are not official terms. It's just what I'm going to use for them. Career certifications refer to things like the FTO certification and the critical care certification, which has both sync control and advanced care. Now, the department certifications are things like flight, fire, water, vet tech, or veterinary services, that kind of stuff. Those 2 are separate, and that you are permitted as an EMT to hold 2 department certifications only, but you may also then go for any of the career certifications. In the past, if you were here, you had to wait 3 weeks between every certification that you gained. Now, you no longer need to do that for the career certification. So you can be in training for the FTO cert and sync control and flight all at the same time. Yes, this is mostly because that stuff takes a while, bro. So you are allowed to do that. However, there is still a 3-week wait between all the department certifications and, note of this, advanced care. Advanced care is under the career certifications. However, that one does have the 3-week wait, etc., etc. Okay. All right. Then when you get to the AEMT stage, you are allowed to go for 2 more advanced department certifications. Now, at the AEMT stage, you unlock veterinary tech. At the EMT stage, you are not currently allowed to be vet tech. We do have some EMT vet techs. I am aware. There's one literally right to my right. And that decision was made to begin sort of the basically to begin giving out the certification to begin with. Moving forward, we will be restricting it to the AEMT rank unless High Command decides otherwise. All right. So that is pretty much how that works. When you are EMT, you are required to have sync control to be promoted to AEMT, and it is not guaranteed, but it is required. The same thing goes for advanced care. While you're an AEMT, You are required to have advanced care to become a paramedic, but it is not guaranteed that you will become a paramedic after getting advanced care. Those are two separate conversations command has to have, and there's also two separate interests. For example, you might be interested in learning advanced care procedures, but you might not be interested in taking on the responsibilities of being paramedic. Clear example, I mean, okay, technically I'm an LT, but I am not a paramedic. So, you know, you can do one and not the other. Now, when you get up to AEMT, you now also unlock the ability to go for instructor certifications. These are separate from the FTO certification. You can be FTO, like FTO cert, you can have that without being an instructor, and you can also have an instructor certification in any of the department certs without being an FTO or having the FTO cert. Those are two separate things, and they are determined by the departments in charge of them. So if you want to be a flight FTO, that's the flight department stuff. If you want to be a water FTO, water department stuff. If you want to be a career FTO, that is pretty much a command related thing, or I guess PNT technically. Now, one thing I want to make clear, when you apply for a certification, check the roster. Command or the FTIs or whatever will approve that certification. And it is your responsibility to then reach out to an FTO or an FTI or whatever in that certification to train you. There's a lot of you and less FTOs than there are generally other people. So people can't necessarily, you know, get a hold of everybody. So absolutely reach out to them. A lot of them have DMs open. Like I said, I do as well. Absolutely go ahead and get to them. Now, last thing, you cannot be in training for an instructor certification and another certification at the same time. So, you know, keep all that buzzing in your head, you know, figuring out what goes where and when. Okay. Moving up the ladder, we get to paramedics. Now, you remember earlier I said that AEMTs and above are shift leads for things. We technically would like paramedics to be shift leads for things, but one, we don't really have paramedics right now, and two, you don't learn how to be shift lead at the rank of paramedic. You learn that pretty much, you know, in scene control. So AEMTs have and are capable of being shift leads without being paramedic. However, you follow your chain of command. The paramedic is the highest rank. If you know, like, is a higher rank, sorry, than the AEMT. So if the paramedic is on shift, the paramedic is shift lead. If an AEMT is on shift and there's no paramedic, AEMT is shift lead. If EMTs are on duty, you work together. There's no real shift lead unless I guess you guys decide to do it that way. Okay, and then you have LTs, and we do the thing LT does, and then you know you have captains and etc. etc. Any questions? Okay. Yes, go on.
So like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like if you're just a normal EMT, you can't be a veterinarian.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, that's all.
Okay, so talking next about that. Sorry, any other questions on that stuff, real quick?
I'm not sure if you'd already mentioned this, but just because it wasn't on there before, but the interest for vet tech is now in the cert application form.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, the application form now has a lot more stuff on it. So the SOP still say some things are locked out, but no, the application form is law on what you can apply for, and you can apply for FTO stuff on there and all sort of stuff now. Sorry, thank you, Winters. Okay. All right, quickly I'll talk about certification departments, whatever. So each of the department certification has a department attached to it. Some of them are more fleshed out than others, and you will notice this. But basically, those departments are in charge of running that specific certification. They may do events for it. They may make up new SOPs, policies, etc., all that stuff. As some of you already know, probably the more fleshed out department is the water department. I am the command member in charge of the water department, and we have a couple, well, I guess our other command members in the room. We have Ramiro Ragoza over there, who is our pretty much deputy or head lifeguard. I forget what your rank is specifically. And then we also have Star Knight, who is also on water command as well. Now, each of these departments have priority on certain calls. So water department has priority on anything that might require a boat. And so basically we say beach calls, water department. The only time where I guess the beach would probably be water superseded on the beach is if the beach is pretty much far north, because frankly, like it's just faster to fly. So flight has priority on calls to the north and mountain rescue calls. Now, of course, if there is no flight certified person on duty, you are required to take that ambulance up to the call and make it as far as you want. A lot of you trainees probably went through a Chiliad test while finishing your driving. So, you know, that's why we kind of do that.
I hate that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, too.
Man,
That was fun.
that was a lot of trauma. I did.
I guess that worked out.
Karma was going down,
yeah.
actually, not up.
Now,
We survived.
and then fire department. Fire department has priority on, you guessed it, fire calls, but also biohazard calls as well. They are hazmat certified in the fire department. So if, for example, you get a call sometime in, I don't know, late NA from the PD, I don't know, asking about snakes on the roof, you know, classic Austin stuff, that is the fire department's purview. Now, if there are no fire certified people on duty and there is a hazmat situation, you are permitted to put on a hazmat suit and then act like an air traffic controller. Tell people, do not go in here. And that's kind of it. You are not allowed to go in there to try and dissipate the situation. You are not allowed to call it code 4. You are pretty much just to say, don't go in here, block people from going in there and getting contaminated. That's kind of your purview on that. Okay. If, all right, thank you. The heads of each department is notated on the roster. As you will see, I have a lifeguard head on my name on the water and stuff like that. If there is no notated head or no clear head, then the FTIs of that department will be, you know, the panel in charge of that department. So if you are looking to advance in a department, speak to an FTO in that department or the FTIs in that department. Follow that department's chain of command as well. Okay, all right. Miguchi. Okay. Before we move on to the vet tech stuff, because they have some specific stuff we want to say, can I get my my head lifeguard up here real quick? Just go over some more stuff. Lifeguard, head lifeguard. Sorry. Goddamn.
What? What are we doing? What?
Oh, we're just here to, you know, showcase the water department. You got anything you wanna say about the water department?
So the water department is great. It's fun. It gives a lot of opportunity, not only to save people in the water, in the beaches. You can also patrol the beaches as of now.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, we don't need that. Everyone, congratulate your newest paramedic. Remember, it was.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations!
I got 2 scars now. 2 scars.
Look
Anyways.
for the blood god.
Don't.
No, I didn't have it. He wasn't gonna say it. Anyways. Yay. Yeah, that's fine. He knows advanced care. He'll be all right.
He's just having a nap.
It's okay. All right, let's get started. Night up. Don't you?
I'm gonna put a catheter tube in all of you. Just you wait.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get Night up here to talk about vet tech stuff.
We're just gonna leave him there. We're just gonna leave him there.
Okay. So quick rundown on emergency veterinary services if you are not part of the vet tech department. So obviously, as you all know, we do have canine units that work with PD. If someone from Vet Corps or veterinary services is not available, the following, and this is all on the SOPs, is what you can do for emergency care. First and foremost, any animal, period, especially canines, do not touch them, pet them, anything with them, unless their handler is present and you have express permission. Same with a service animal. Just don't do it. They could be scared, especially if they're injured. You don't want them lashing out because their handler isn't there. If they are wearing a collar or a tactical vest, keep it on them, please, unless that is causing them injury or if it's preventing you from providing them emergency care. We do not, if you are not vet certified, you do not give them any saline IVs, any blood, any medications. You can, however, give them a loose-fitting oxygen face mask to help them out. You can give them a bandage, like wrap their wound with a bandage to help stop the bleeding, but do not apply a pressure bandage. That pressure bandage could cause them even more pain, agony, and injury. If they have gunshot wounds, you can just like with a normal patient, pack that wound with saline-soaked gauze. If they are a burn victim canine, you can throw some saline-soaked towels on those burns just to help cool down their skin. If there's not someone from vet services around, and you've done this, then the handler will just need to take them home and schedule up an appointment with a veterinarian to have a follow-up appointment for that canine. All of that makes sense? Any questions? Cool, thank you.
You're the best.
Sorry, can you go just get back up there real quick? I already stabbed her, so I'm not gonna do it again. Yeah. But also, everybody, say congratulations to our other paramedic now, Star Knight. Yay!
Woo! Good job.
Thank you. Don't you fucking dare! I was stabbed once today. I don't need anything else.
Do it.
She was stabbed at the AU Academy. I feel like one scar is enough, you know.
Yeah, that is enough.
Yeah, I would hope so. Someone help him up.
I thought it was Raven's strat to keep me for 3 hours. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god. All right, let us continue. Talk a little bit. Let's talk about ICU and declaration of death, and let's talk about some legal stuff. All right. Okay, so a couple of things that need clarification for the ICU stuff. You will all learn how to put somebody in the ICU, so I'm not going to go over that procedure right now. But what I do want to clarify is this: when we have people who have ICU for less than 24-hour period, Nancy recommends that they ICU for a day or 5 hours or 2 hours, etc., etc. You may put them in an ICU room upstairs in the hospital. However, you are not hello. Okay, I'm alive. You are not required to check them in with Dr. Turk. Now, you may fill out a form so the doctors understand exactly what happened. So, if they come back in for something, or, they say, oh yeah, I was in ICU here, can I get a medical report of the something of that sort? The doctors have all the information they need from that. However, you're not required to check them with Dr. Turk. They will just pretty much go to sleep over there, and then the local nurses will transport them to their house. The other thing is we also now have a new channel in the emo chain for when people will get released from ICU that you can put in there, so that people are aware when somebody has been released and who released them. Please endeavor to use this. It is very difficult when somebody is released or put in ICU and then you can't find the information. I've had people come up and want to visit someone, and I can't find their emergency contacts and things of that sort. Sometimes that's not on you. Sometimes that's just the way the form system is. But absolutely, please try to do our best so we can work with doctors as well on this. I saw Jones and I saw Hargrove.
Nope, not me.
My question was related to the thing that happened today that I alluded to. We had a person in PD custody who Nancy said only needed a short rest in ICU but was unconscious. And PD insisted that we admit them to ICU even though the time was almost up by the time we finished talking about this. And apparently asked somebody, wanted all of the paperwork done for admission, but they then immediately got discharged again. And then they went back into the ICU after they collapsed in police care. They were going in and out of consciousness, basically. So we were told originally that if somebody needed less than 24 hours and they were in police custody, that they would go to Bolingbroke, but they can't go to Bolingbroke if they're unconscious. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Do you have any recommendations on that?
Yeah. So, I don't know. But once again, I'll go back to EMS primaries, and when it comes to medical care, anything of that, LS Medical Group is in charge of that. So PD, not their jurisdiction. If somebody is being arrested and Nancy recommends they go into ICU for 2 hours, then they stay in ICU for 2 hours. Now, here's the important part. I mean, a lot of you probably do this already, but us medical people, we're a little crazy, so we be talking to patients even if they can't hear us, And I just like to talk in the air and make sure that everybody is aware that if they're going into ICU, they are going into ICU and they are staying there and they are not, going anywhere else. And if they are to go anywhere else, due to a head pop, emergency, all that kind of stuff, they return to PD custody, exactly where they should be. Now, if for some reason you do not have trust in that, you can, I guess, check them into ICU, but you have to make sure to check them out. If you just want them to get brought back by local, but it is not procedure to check people in less than 24. If people are in ICU and require the ICU, not just rest or anything of that sort, they stay in ICU. They do not go up to Bolingbroke if they are unconscious, if they need, stuff like that from Nancy. They do not go up to Bolingbroke. They stay in ICU. If they have an issue with that, take it up the chain.
I think it was more a question of PD. One PD officer in particular apparently talked to somebody in the sky who said everybody had to be checked into the ICU regardless of how short a time. And that kind of did not sit right with me.
Nope. No. Yeah, that's kind of it. Nope.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's happened at least twice that I've had unconscious people in PD custody for short-term stays in the ICU. The first time went fine because the police officer was willing to stay with them and kind of make sure they were there when they woke up. The second time, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I said, I talk aloud and then I tell the PD officers this is exactly how it's going to happen, and everybody is understanding that this is what is going to happen. If you need to use them blue clouds to make sure everybody's clear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I tell the PD, they're in here for 2 hours, and then you can come get them when they're done. I will 3-on-1 or ask somebody to 3-on-1 to let you know when they are good to be released. That's fine. But yeah, they stay in ICU. They need to stay in ICU, even if it's for a short stay. But they don't need to be checked in if it's below 24. We don't really hold patients. That's not our job. But when people are in PD custody, PD does the coughing to the bed, etc., but they stay in ICU because they need medical care. That's our job.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that question. Okay. So then once again, declaration of death. Actually, there's no real stuff here. We can't declare people dead. Nancy can declare people dead. For those of you who are new, we have doctors do it, but if there's no other doctors around, Nancy can do it, and Nancy will give you time of death and all that stuff, and then you can enter that in. The same way you talk to Nancy about treatment is the same way she will communicate to you about declaration of death, but otherwise we cannot do it. Okay. There was a pretty comprehensive announcement about HIPAA that went out earlier, so I don't think I need to belabor the point, but I do want to take questions on it. if you all want to take the time to reread that announcement right now, I guess feel free. I guess, but I
Yeah,
do
I'm
want to
taking a look.
open. I want to open the floor for questions on HIPAA specifically because I know that announcement just went out.
What announcement?
Check the announcement channel in email chain.
Oh, the HIPAA?
Yes, sir. You forgetting a word?
Ice packs. Please.
Have some damn manners, boy.
I said please.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I'm always respectful.
Yes, Jim.
I have one other question on the ICU release lock, the new channel. Is that a 24-hour clock? But is it Los Santos time or some other time? Like EST?
No, it is not. Everybody's different time. It's not Los Santos time. Do put the you can put the time zone that is in you that you're from back home in there, or you can set it to UTC. But you probably want to put time zone regardless. Is everybody still reading or no questions?
No questions from me.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear. I'll give it a couple more minutes, just in case. If you're not done, absolutely say so before we move on. I want to make sure everybody's read up.
Yeah, I've had a patient ICU before, and they didn't have any of their emergency contacts with them, so it was a little difficult to tell their obviously close friends that I couldn't tell them anything about the status of their friend. But them's the rules.
Indeed. It is difficult. Yeah. And that does get people upset, but you're protected by the law.
I just tell them to go ask
Yeah,
Nancy.
they understood.
Okay. So if anybody is still reading, let me know now. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Going once. Going twice. Alrighty. So let's talk about court. Now, you have two official legal people, lawyers, in Los Santos Medical Group. Myself, I am the designated legal representative for the hospital. Sorry, not for the hospital, my bad, for EMS. And then Dr. Salvatore Romano is dedicated for the doctors. So, two things. One, if you have legal issues, if you get arrested for something, or you, I guess, need an expungement, need to have something related to your career or EMS requested from PD, etc., etc., you may reach out to me to do that. the flow of information tends to be better through lawyers than it through just civilians. I understand I am not in everybody's time zone. I know this is NA, but still, this is a time that even I probably wouldn't be here during the week. So I understand that. That's why I gave out my phone number. Absolutely text me with details and stuff like that. And I will do my absolute best to get in touch with that. The same thing on the doctor's side. If I am not available in any way, shape, or form, then you may reach out to Salvatore Romano as well. But like I said, he's more designated for doctors than anything else. Now, if you do get called into court, now I know that doesn't happen often, but it has happened. So, beware. If you do get called to testify in court or to give an affidavit, which is basically a signed statement uh, of you, stating something is legally true, well, not legally, is just true and accurate to your best of your knowledge, etc., then please absolutely reach out to me to learn proper court etiquette and your rights. If you get called into interrogation, do not go into interrogation by yourself without representation. If I am not around and it is voluntary interrogation, tell them that you would like to do it with your lawyer present. If they say that they will get you legal aid, if you are comfortable with that, absolutely feel free to do so. That is within your right. However, legal aid are not fully certified lawyers. Now, some of them may absolutely be amazing at what they do. Some of them may be very, very seasoned. So I'm not saying that they are not, capable. I'm just saying that they don't have, I guess, the same rapport and ins with the DOJ that doesn't exist, by the way, that lawyers do.
It's a dice roll.
Yeah, exactly. You might get somebody really good or you might not. But you go with Romano or myself or any of the other lawyers that is in our circle or in our firm, then you are most likely going to get good representation. We will teach you exactly what it is to do and what it is you need to say and what it is you are not required to do and what you are not required to say. Very unlikely that you will need that, but in case you do, absolutely, please do reach out. Do not go into it alone. Do not get your rights trampled on. In addition to that, when we talked about HIPAA already. If PD requesting any information that is from the HIPAA, direct them to pretty much command. And they have the form that you should be requesting information from. If they do not have the form, direct them to command. That's just a straight to command thing. In fact, and we will handle it at the appropriate channels. Alrighty. Winters was communications with doctors and stuff like that. Some of the stuff you wanted to handle. I did not hear a word you said.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was whispering. I've not got anything on that one, but I have for the rest of them.
Okay, I will handle that, and then we can have you jump it. Okay, there's only a few things you learned the proper procedures, but a few things we want to clarify about communicating with doctors. The first thing we want to clarify is when you are required to do so. So you're required to get on channel 9 and talk to doctors when you are bringing in critical patients. We want them to know in advance. We want them to be prepared. We want them to be ready. You are not required, however, to communicate how many people you are bringing in if they are not critical. Now, as you may have noticed, we now have doctors being shown in central dispatch in the Discord purple bot or bot purple, I forget what it's called, place. So you can absolutely check there to see if there's any doctors on duty. I like to, get on channel 9 and say, hey, any doctors around? Just, to have a conversation, keep them in the loop, etc., etc. But you are not required to do so. It is nice, it is helpful for them, but the only time you are required to do so is when you are bringing in criticals. Any questions about communications with doctors? Anything that's come up with, that you want to get clarification on right now? Okay. All right. Winters, you're up.
Yay, Winters.
All right, hello. So, Joe has kindly sent me over his notes for these sections as he was originally meant to be doing them, but has gone to sleep. Okay, so first I'm gonna go through treatment of wounds. Okay, so in SOPs, treatment for most, if not all, wounds and injuries is clearly outlined, but with some things, you may develop your own styles and interactions and treatments for these things. So, first of all, we have the rapid assessment tool that we should be using, Dr. Cab or Dr. ABC. Different people do it differently. So this is what you should be using when you first arrive at calls and scenes, just to kind of initially assess what has happened. So the first thing you'll do is assess the danger, and then check for response. And then you're going to check circulation, and then check airways are clear, and check the breathing. And then, so going on to the different types of injuries. The first kind, which is fairly common, is minor lacerations. So this refers to skin wounds where there isn't, like say, like missing skin. So these are normally caused by sharp objects or sometimes from blunt trauma. So in these situations, you do the standard. So start by applying pressure and clean up the wound. And then bandage it up. Okay, and then also bruising is quite a common thing. Depending on how it is, you would maybe give them some ice packs in the areas to try bring bruising and swelling down. And then in some situations, they may not need to go to the hospital. In some, they might, because with bruising, you're unsure whether there's internal injuries or not. So sometimes it is best to just take them to the hospital just in case and get that checked out. So the next one is someone flying out of a car. So in these situations, it's common that people may have neck or spinal injuries. So if this is the case, you're gonna make sure you're moving them slowly, no rapid movements, just to make sure you don't make anything worse. Get a C-collar on them and put them onto the spinal board along with any other treatment, just to make sure everything is stable. And then like I say, for most treatment, it is clearly outlined within the SOPs. So I'm gonna try not to go through everything in too much detail. So then if someone is unconscious or unresponsive, especially in those cases, you want to remember to do your Dr. ABC. And then carry on as normal. If they're not breathing, give them CPR. If they don't regain consciousness by the time you've treated everything else and you're transporting them, the ambulances are fitted with a glucose machine. This will allow you to give chest compressions whilst they're being transported, so make sure you are utilizing that in those cases. Does anyone have any questions about any of the treatments at all? Is there anything anyone's uncertain with them? No, you're good. All right, so then moving on to medication. So medication is going to be found in a locked box inside your ambulance, so it is secure. If there is anything you don't feel comfortable using or feel you don't have enough experience with, do not feel pressured to administer that medication. Again, within the SOPs, there is a clear chart kind of outlining what medication we have available and what level you are able to use this at, along with what you would use it to treat. And then there is the same for any equipment that we have. All right, so does anyone have any questions with medication and equipment? Look at there, okay. Give me a second to find the next one.
Actually, I don't see it on there, but glucose shots and glucose gel. You know what I mean?
Yes, so when people forget to eat or drink.
I don't see it. I don't think is it there?
Yeah, well, like I say, it's some things aren't kind of put in like I don't.
Yeah. I was just saying some people don't know.
Yeah, like we don't have like it doesn't mention like burn cream in there as well, but like I say, sometimes people will kind of develop different styles and treatments, and often as long as they're safe and reasonable, those are good too. All right, so radios and dispatch. So first of all, it's important to kind of note that we do, as you know, share our radio with PD. So when
We
there are
didn't.
active situations going
Wish
on,
we had our own channel.
unless
They had to come onto it
it
to ask
is
for us.
priority traffic, do not break those communications. So examples of priority traffic would be if you need 78s, if EMS is being kidnapped or injured along those lines, if there's officers down. But apart from those, do not interrupt communications for active situations. Sometimes they may stop speaking for like a couple seconds, but there are still scenes ongoing, and it's important to try not interrupt that. In those situations, obviously, we ask that you use 311. And then when communicating over the radio, for your call sign, you should be using the NATO alphabet for the prefixes. So these are found again in the SOPs. It gives you the phonetic alphabet, and the prefixes you should be using for your rank. Again, I don't want to go over everything. As for 10 codes and all of that, you have the guidelines and sheet outlining all of them in the SOPs. And also with dispatch and radio, there are a lot of examples within there for what you should be saying and what radio communication and dispatch you should be using. Does anyone have any issues, questions, anything like that with dispatch, radio communication, anything along those lines?
Raven does.
Yes.
Really quickly, I wanna put this clarification out there. When we get a 911, I've just seen this happen a few times, and I've also been told it hasn't happened. So I wanna put this out there so everybody's aware. When we get a 911, we have to respond to that 911 to the best of our ability. I understand if you're the only one on duty and you had 3, 5 911s and you're treating somebody, you can't respond to them. But otherwise, responding to every single 911. That is how we let people know that we are on the way. Imagine getting, run over, stabbed, shot. You jumped out of your bike or whatever accidentally, and you call for help, and then nobody responds to you. That's the feeling of when we don't get a response to those 911s. Please endeavor to tell people we are on the way, we are coming, hold on, hang tight, stay alive, whatever, reasonable communication might be to let them know. Then on top of that, you have to make sure to let PD and EMS know that you are dispatching to a call, whether that be on radio or in 311. If you are going to a call, do not just roll off to that call because people will not know where you are, and then you might end up with two people at one call, or just nobody knowing, where you went or what happened. And then if something bad happens, we'll have to scramble to look for you. So please, please, please respond to 911 and then dispatch and let everybody know you're going to a call.
Anyone else have anything to add? Questions at all? Anything? Nope. All right, so moving on to vehicles. So again, within the SOPs, there is a clear kind of vehicle matrix which outlines which vehicles we have available to us as EMS. It tells you what rank you're able to use these vehicles at, what certs you require to use certain vehicles as well. So some kind of general things for vehicles. For repairs, there is the Bennies, which we have at SMH at Hostel. We've got one here behind Fire Main, and there's also one up at Sandy Medical. And then, so we have the locations for the shared vehicles as well. Again, one here, one at SMH, and one up at Sandy. So with these shared vehicles, do not modify them at all. Make sure you're refueling them to above 75% before you put them away, and that you are repairing them as well. Yes, question?
I just actually checks. Sorry, I just checked some of the shared vehicles before we came in here, and some of them have asset fees. Just want to let you know.
All right, thank you for telling us. Okay, so moving on to personal ambulances. So with personal ambulances, there was an announcement recently you may have seen that the rules have changed slightly. So when you are to leave EMS for any reason, you are to sell your ambulance back to command. You will get the full 80k that you paid for it through this. And then also, as we will be buying ambulances back off of people, if there is anyone who needs an ambulance, doesn't have one, when people hit EMT or slow trainee, whenever they are buying their ambulance, they're able to contact command and we can sort out getting them one.
Oh, Valentine? Never mind, she's gone.
Oh, she's gone. Alright, so with your personal ambulances, you are able to change the color of them and respray them. So there's a set list of approved colors within the SOPs, as many of you know, and then you should be changing your wheel color. Well, you are able to change your wheel color to match the primary color of your ambulance, and also use pearlescents, which are also in that allowed list. Any questions about personal ambulances in general? No, all good? Right, so then next thing is explorers. Okay, so explorers are to be used by paramedics plus. We do have a shared explorer. So these are primarily used for mountain calls. If people don't have flight certification and they are the correct rank, then they are able to use an explorer. Just to make things easier, because it's not fun taking an ambulance up Chiliad. But these explorers are primarily for rapid response and mountain rescue calls, as we say. So they lack certain equipment, such as the Lucas machines. And you should not be, you should not be transporting critical patients in them or people who would have neck or spinal injuries. And again, with these, there are set allowed colors that you are allowed to respray them. And then again, there are a list of expectations, some further detailing in the rules for these explorers within the SOPs. So, helicopters. For those with flight certification, we have one helicopter
Ram.
available to use. I'm sure most of you know
A 54 is
where they are.
Is an animal, like a livestock on the road. 45 is
Where
an
they're
animal
found.
carcass.
So at SMH here and at Sandy, you're able to get that out and also able to refill them at these locations as well, along with a few others. And then again with repairs, there's a Benny's at LSIA and also for Zancudo. But as I say, these rules are further outlined within the SOPs, and when you do a flight cert, these rules will get fully explained to you. You'll get shown where everything is. They will, I'm sure they'll ensure that everyone fully understands the rules with them. We also have the fire truck. Again, we've got one of these for people that have a fire certification. They are found in the same places as the typical shared vehicles, and again, the rules are the same for all vehicles with refueling and repairing. And then we also have the boats and the lifeguard vehicles for those with water certs. And the lifeguard vehicle is in the shared garages, and these can be used for patrolling the beaches and then also for rapid response to water calls and calls on the beach. With this vehicle though, you are only able to patrol with it when there are at least 2 ambulances out. And if you are using it for rapid response, ensure that there is someone available with an ambulance to transport the 47, as you should not be transporting the 47s within this. Something to note with the lifeguard vehicle though is that you are not able to repair it in the bennies as you are with the other vehicles. So for this, you would need to take it to a repair shop if it requires repairs, or just use a.
It also doesn't have lights or sirens, so
repair kit.
It's not an emergency vehicle, really.
And then next, we have the Corona van. Again, we have one of these available, found in the shared parking locations again. So you are only able to use this vehicle though, to travel to and from the morgue when you're transporting a patient who is deceased. Does anyone have any questions, issues with anything in regards to vehicles?
Just sorta. Just so nobody is allowed to transport with the Explorer. Is that what it is?
You mean nobody's allowed to transport with it? You can. Do you mean?
I mean, if they're okay. There's those 2 up. Never mind. Take my question back.
Do you understand?
I understand what I'm trying to say, but I'm not. It's fine. It's answered.
Do you mean it's answered? You good?
So the people who can drive the Explorer are paramedics plus, correct? For the calls?
Yes.
And it is only allowed to be used if the ambulance, at least one ambulance, is out. Correct.
Yes. Because then, like you say, if you get to a scene, you're an Explorer, you find that they are critical, or like say they have spinal injury, neck injury, you're able to call for another individual to bring an ambulance, so they are able to be transported to where things go to the hospital.
Are you whispering, Cass?
Oh, am I? Oh.
Yeah, you were a minute
Speak up,
ago.
cousin.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear. I didn't hear. I couldn't hear Cass. I asked if she was whispering. She didn't think she was.
Oh, I was just saying with the Explorer that I'm saying if you go to a call with an Explorer and you find that the patient is critical or has a spinal injury, any injury that you are unable to transport with that vehicle, you need to make sure that there's someone available with another ambulance so that they are able to come and transport them to hospital in that ambulance.
Because that's where the spinal boards are and whatnot.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, let me just find the next bit again. Okay, so self-defense. I know this has briefly been touched in the general part of the SOPs earlier, but for self-defense, for melee weapons, you have available, you have the flashlight, and then, like we say, if you have certain certifications, I believe it's just a fire one, you will have a axe and a crowbar, I believe. But remember that you are to just use these weapons for self-defense. Do not be putting yourself into dangerous situations or, situations where it's unnecessary and you are not required to use these. If possible, it is desired that you attempt to retreat from situations. So if you're in a situation, someone starts shooting, you're able to get away. Please do that. Do not try and attempt to go for them and, protect everyone. But also in these situations, it would be classed as an active situation, so also call 78s for that. But like I say, if it is not possible for you to retreat from those situations, you can stand your ground and defend yourself by using those weapons. And then the final reason you would need to defend yourself is, again, wildlife. So, like if you go to a call, there's a Medicaid, you're at Chiliad, something like that. You're able to use that hunting rifle that is available, but then, like we say, you must 3-on-1 afterwards to inform everyone of what has been done. Right. Everyone good with all that? Any questions?
Yeah. Yeah, one.
Yep.
When I first was trained, I was told I was allowed to have a hunting rifle in my ambulance. Is that not the case anymore, or no?
No, I just said you are able to have a
You
hunting rifle
well,
for,
before they were saying you had to be in Life Flight, and you had to get it from Life Flight. Is that was confusing to me?
Yeah. It's in Life Flight 1. That's where it's located.
Yeah, I believe there is one in Life Flight, but they are able to have one in their ambulance, aren't they? If they're not.
Yeah, they're talking about their personal hunting rifles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do take in mind that you do need a hunting license in order to use it. If you do not have a hunting license, do not have it. And make sure you also mark your animal as a sleep dart and not a bullet, because we don't harm animals.
Yes. That was another thing I was going to say, because I know I've talked to Ram about that before.
Yeah, so you are able to have urine in your ambulance if you have the correct licenses for it. But again, just ensure you're only using it for those calls and for in the proper ways. Any other
have to get a
questions
new
on
one.
that?
Mine's dead.
Everyone, all good? Yeah. All right. Thank you. So back to Raven. Let's talk about uniforms then.
All right. Uniforms. Okay. So,
Noah Loop,
it is
hello.
important that
Thank you
wear
for
the
following. We're
correct
having a meeting.
uniform at all times while you are representing EMS. 1, because you are representing EMS. 2, because then you are identifiable as EMS and specifically with whatever certification you have. And 3, your certification is a physical manifestation or outward presentation of 1, your achievements, 2, your rank, 3, certification, work, etc., within the department. Now, if you know me, you know I'm strict on uniforms. So endeavor to wear the correct uniforms at all times. But you will be happy to know that if you have a certification, you are allowed to mix that certification uniform into your regular uniform on the daily, except I believe vet tech. So if you have if you are fire certified, you are allowed to wear the fire bottoms, not the top, but the fire bottoms with your regular uniform. If you are water certified, you are allowed to wear your swim bottoms with your thing. Not not the top. There will be no shirtless men running around. You are not allowed to wear your swimwear as uniform. Water department, that is not allowed. If you are flight certified, I'm pretty sure you can mix in the bottoms as well. Pretty much, you get to mix in, whatever part of your certification you have. FTOs, those who have FTO certifications, you are only allowed to wear those, and the same with VetTech, while you are performing, the part of your cert. So while you are instructing somebody, that's when you're allowed to be in instructor gear, except for right now, because show that off. And then VetTech, the same thing as well for you guys. So, make sure that, join up a department so you can mix up the uniform a little bit. However, we also have casual Fridays. Now, it's in the SOPs, but I want to reiterate, casual Friday is a casual Friday in the, wherever you are from. So some of you Friday starts before others, and some of you Friday ends much later. That is fine. You are free to mess around with your Friday uniform. Make sure you are still identifiable as EMS, most likely by throwing on one of the jackets that you are allowed to wear with your rank. And also, no torsos. I don't want to see no belly buttons. None of that. But otherwise, feel free to mix it up. Sometimes we will, give a theme or a directive, or it's a specific month, and you can mix it up a little bit more, and that way we have a little more levity with it, etc., etc. But we want to make sure that we are identified as EMS appropriately. We want to make sure that each rank is identified appropriately, because with each rank comes different responsibilities. And we want to make sure that we are all being professional. Any questions about the uniforms? No question? Okay, all right. That, unless I've missed anything, other command members, I'll give you, I guess, did I miss anything, other command members? Or is there any other questions about anything else? Maybe you thought of a question from a section earlier that we talked about and you want to bring it up now? Absolutely, feel free to do so.
I just remembered a thing with the application as well. That you are able on the application, it does allow you to select multiple certifications on one form, but please do not do this. Please submit separate forms for each certification that you want, just because they need to be approved separately, and there's different people that are in charge of them, so just make sure you're doing it that way.
Okay. Any other last minute thoughts, questions, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I didn't see a form for scene control. I'm guessing I would just come to one of you guys about getting that certification.
Oh, it's in there. It should be critical care SC. Is in the. It should be in the search
Okay.
form.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, critical care SC, critical care AC. Those are the for scene control and advanced care. Okay, all right. Seeing no further questions, can we all just take a second to appreciate Mr. Quiet Boy Ryan Ryanston for taking care of all the calls while we were all in here for this couple of hours?
Thanks, Ryan.
But
He did nothing.
You're a rock star.
What?
let's not get taken down.
He did this because he had to. Remember that.
I twisted his arm.
Ow, my
Alright.
stomach hurts. Damn it, I ate too fast.
All right, so let's get together for this picture so Ms. Jones can have a pretty picture with the AU ones to add to the newsletter. So yes, listen.
Cozy, do you want us in these outfits or normal?
Oh no.
I was gonna say I can't hear
you.
Speak with your chest, Cozy. Speak with your
Okay,
chest.
sorry. Yes, I want you in those unless you want your face seen, in which case take your helmets off.
Alrighty.
Okay, want people down in the front, a row of people kneeling or sitting in the front, And then
paramedic one
people
sucks.
standing in the back, please.
All right, let me get.
Ryan, you too.
I want to sit next
Or
to
you take it,
Raven.
one or the other.
Don't push, don't push. I want to be next to Raven.
I want you
pushing
more over. Yeah,
I
okay.
was next to her in the other picture too.
Yeah.
Go,
Can
Ariana.
you? Well, you can take one and I'll take one. And I'll see what I want.
Yeah, let me
Charlie.
adjust.
Yeah.
Let us readjust.
I'm
Back
sticking
row,
with
don't
my
move.
OG. My OG.
Yeah. Can we
Back row,
take
don't
out all of these little signs people have been putting up, please? I do not want them in the
forgot what I
picture.
did.
Thank you.
Oh, I think I look like this, but I look too skinny when I do that.
Your arms look really skinny. You should put your arms up.
Yeah, I'll stay.
Brian, please do not stand behind Cass and have her ears up.
Why are
please.
you facing?
Ryan? Ryan.
Babe, you need to move closer this way, maybe.
No, you're good. You're good.
We good?
Oh, hang on a sec.
Is the sign still there? I can't see it.
No, it's gone.
Who removed the sign?
Calm down.
When people were putting little notes around, I think it got taken down.
What are you trying to say?
I want everybody to look at me. I'm going to talk, so everybody looks at me.
I want Cozy in the picture.
Yeah.
Everybody look here.
If
Jasmine,
everybody scoots
Jasmine.
closer
Everybody
to
look
me, I can try to
here.
since I'm center.
Okay, we try that next. Cozy's the best.
No, Cozy's taking a picture.
She's still the
Oh.
best. I don't care.
Damn it. I keep getting freaking 311s in my face. It's not bad, except I get Jasmine and Jasmine and Sam are never looking at the same time. I don't know why.
Gosh, Jasmine, always in the front,
Here,
and
I'll
never
switch.
doing
I'll
what you're
switch
supposed
how
to.
I'm sitting. Hang on.
No, it's okay. I got you. I got you, Sam. I think I got it. I think I got it. I took a bunch. I'm hoping at least one of them works. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Cozy, you're coming in this picture. I don't care. You're coming.
Why? But I can't, Ryan. I can't take it and
Because
be in the picture at the same time.
no, Mitchell's gonna push out
All right,
her
Jasmine, scoot.
auto
scoot.
clicker.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
She got that
Sit right next to
Samsung
me.
pen. You know what I mean? Her
She got
phone's
that extra long selfie stick.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
oh.
Wait.
Okay, I need. Let's see. Okay, Cozy, you sit right in front of Raven.
Peepo shy me.
Yeah, I need Charlie
I'm
to
gonna shy your peepo.
come behind
Oh,
Jasmine.
ayo.
Or yeah, on that side. Actually, Charlie, go next to Neil. Right next to Neil. Yuri, can you back up just a little bit? Yuri, scoot back a little bit. Right there.
All right, Ryan, leave the picture incomplete.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
out.
I didn't mean to say that out loud. My bad.
Can I sit people shy? I can't. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah.
You can't people shy in the front, bro.
You can't people shy in the front row.
Do you want to start with me? Do you want to set up?
All right. Well, I took one. You want? I gotta do one with.
But did you get a good one?
All right. Stop moving. Ready? Set.
Well,
3,
it's a little hard to.
2.
We all got ants in our pants.
Just stop talking.
What does talking have to do?
All right. Don't look through your eyes. All right. Why are you looking at- All right. 3. You gotta stop talking so everybody looks forward. Okay. I'll send that to you.
Thank you.
You want me to take a couple of them?
Yeah, take a few in case you don't notice somebody's looking odd, and I have some options. Thank you.
Kaz is over here looking angry. Okay. That should be good for how I can
All right.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna
yeah, if
very
you-
very badly Photoshop Joe into it, like with tape and stuff.
Yeah, if you guys like taking pictures or you have something fun happen to you on GT, reach out to Jones or write an article about it or
Yeah,
something.
please.
Put it in there,
Please.
Heck yeah.
If something, like something wild is happening, like you write that up, put a column about it or something.
Wait, did we finish?